Yo, people, welcome back to another stream of Two Up Front. I'm obviously Ace, as always, with my brother Major. How are you doing, bro? How are you feeling about today's stream?
Thanks. But yeah, man, everything's good, everything's blessed. Hey, let's get into it, man. It's time to
Hey,
talk some
man.
football.
Hey, man, bro. You know what?
Mm,
Yeah, I was thinking this stream, where should we take it? And I thought, let's
mm,
start with just I guess the funny things I just saw in the world of football over this last
mm,
week. I wanted to get your take on it because I just wanted to laugh a little bit at first before we kind of
mm.
get into the whole weekend preview. Maybe we'll touch on the Tottenham match a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Talking, So we'll see where the conversation takes us today, yeah. So I'm gonna start off
okay.
there with this one, bro. I don't know if you saw this, but I thought this one was quite funny. 1 second, let me just get that ready real quick. So it is. Yeah, look at this one, man. So I don't know if you saw this, bro. Deco proposed a swap deal between Gundogan and Rodri to Man City, which was immediately rejected. And now City are asking for the remaining of Varane's fee to be paid before August 31st. Otherwise, they will take legal action. Bad news for Barca. Bro, I saw this here and I was actually creasing. I was like, how can you come to Man City's door and try to propose a swap deal? Like, this is the most. I don't even care if it's real or fake. The lie is good enough. So I'm gonna run with it, and I think it is because I think Gerard Romero is quite a credible kind of source. So I think this was hilarious. I said, yeah, the audacity to even propose this deal. I don't know if you saw it. I thought this was funny.
Nah, I didn't see
You didn't see
this.
it. You
I
didn't see
didn't see
it,
this.
bro.
No.
This is when the whole
Mm-hmm,
because even the Gundogan thing, I'm touching that really quickly as well because
mm-hmm.
it was so strange to me. I was like, he left City on a free last summer to go
Yeah.
to Barca.
Mm-hmm.
Barca gave
Yeah.
him a contract, which I guess was probably, I'm guessing like 3 years. I mean, that's what he wanted at City. And Barca
Mm-hmm.
have now let him go for free to go
Yeah.
back to City, which is, I think that
Yeah.
was a smoking gun and makes you think, I believe this, man. I believe that they had to smooth the deal over and say, City, allow us. You can have Gundogan. You don't have to pay us nothing. Let's just do this deal and we keep it stepping. So, yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I thought this was hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Man
Bro,
said propose the swap deal between Gundogan and Rodri, Come on, man.
come on,
Come
man.
on,
Let's
man.
be serious.
Come on.
Let's
Surely
be
that can't
serious.
be real, man. Surely it can't
Bro,
be real.
listen,
Rodri.
I want to believe. I want to believe it. Well, I'm
Rodri.
guessing they might. Bro, apparently, I think I don't know if it was. Oh yeah.
Bro.
So there's that one. Yeah. This is
Mm-hmm.
how you know Boston be a mad because this is why I call this the Brocalona tales. Because yeah,
Mm,
they're doing this with City, trying to now do swap deal with Rodri, and then
mm.
they also same time like a couple days ago, Barcelona will do everything possible to sign Leao, even if it seems impossible, as well as asking prices over 90 million euros. Barca could try to include players as per. And again, bro, I was looking at this. I was like, the same Barcelona that we know are struggling in financially. Imagine always so much money, bro, and you're going across Europe trying to still buy stars to bring into your team. Like,
Yeah, man.
like,
You know what? I think Barca, they're they're blessed that obviously they have an academy that are
yeah.
able to produce talents because yeah, this transfer structure and their approach to trying to make signings is all over the place. Like, yeah, it's all over the place. And it's crazy as well because obviously, like we grew up remembering Barca being great.
Yo,
And just to see everything that's going on with them now, yeah,
bro, I have no
man.
sympathy, man. After
Bro,
they
I'm
took
still,
Fabregas from us, broke our hearts, bro.
oh,
Took him
hey,
from us, broke our hearts. So yeah, after that, I
hey,
don't care what's happening to Barcelona. I just find this funny. So yeah, man.
hey.
Like when
Bro,
he says
I'm still caught up with the whole Gundo and Rodri swap deal, bro. Like, I still,
oh, like bro, no,
like,
just when I saw that, when I
huh?
say I was creasing for like 30
Huh?
seconds, I was just like, there's no way this
Yeah,
is real. There's no way Barcelona actually came to see his door. No wonder
yeah, it
he said,
can't be.
oh, you forgetting that you still owe us before you even trying to come
Yeah,
up with these crazy deals. So yeah,
can't be.
I think the smoking gun for me was the fact that it allowed Gundogan, who clearly is still a very good player, has a value
Mm,
to leave on a free. It don't make sense in it. When I think
mm.
about it logically, like it don't make sense. Like, he's one of the best players too. I think it was also part of it. I think it's also tied to the fact that they want to register Danny Olmo and they need to
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
shared couple players.
yeah.
But again,
I was
it's like
seeing
just a
things regarding that. Yeah.
yeah. So again, it's just the club is just man, just been ran just crazily over the last, I guess, few years. I thought this was funny. I just wanted to kind of bring that up for anyone who didn't know that this happened. And then I guess the other thing I wanted to kind of catch you up on in Europe before we bring it back close to home, bro, is I don't know if you had any kind of thoughts on the PFA kind of team of the year.
Team of the year, yeah.
What were your thoughts, players, in terms of what happened? Because
obviously, I think a big discussion point was obviously Palmer not being included after the season that he had, and yeah, he did win the Young Player of the Year, but yeah, there was no space for him in the Team of the Year, which I saw a lot of debate regarding that, and also like the defense, I've heard people talking not only about like certain inclusions, for example, Walker. I'll say a certain inclusion.
That's wild.
But also like, like whether it's right to approach the Team of the Year with like having like, more than 2 centre backs, and like not keeping it like strictly like, but not playing players, not placing players in their strict positions. Like, should that be the approach, or should it be an approach of if you're a defender, you're a defender, and you just get put into the team? So I feel like those are like the two main things that I've been seeing.
Okay, what's your take on that then?
Me personally, I feel like you should play the players in their like actual positions. So like you should put So if you're selecting, like if you're putting it in a 4-3-3 formation, look, obviously I think there's certain places where you can be more flexible, but I think in the defense, for example, like you should have 2 centre backs, a left back and a right back. Like that's what I
hear
believe.
it.
How about you?
My initial take is I'm not mad at you, like I'm actually not mad at it at all, because I think this is another example. Sometimes I feel like we also shouldn't be so binary too, in terms of like there has to be a left back, there has to be a right back. If that season there's 3 very good centre backs, and like let's say for example, I'll take maybe the argument might be like a Vardio should get into team, but you might compare Vardio to Gabriel and say, I heard Vardio might be the left back, but Gabriel was amazing, so we don't want to leave him out of the team. So I'm actually not mad at it in terms of like if they actually think these are the 3 or the best defenders. Where I agree, like the Walker inclusion, that one was a bit mad. Like that one caught me, caught me also off guard, especially what we saw in that Euros. So
man. Like,
so
I've spoken about Walker already, man.
Everyone
man.
knows our opinions on Walker.
This is Walker's living off reputation at this point, man. Like
it's facts. He's like the team, man. Rico Lewis is definitely he's the commentator that's going to be serious about it. So okay, cool. All right, cool. I think that's the interesting one. Would you have swapped any player in this team for Palmer?
It's so difficult, man. Like it's really, really difficult. I think that, and you know what it is? He's a great player, but I think, it's tough, man. It's really difficult. But I think you have to put him in. I think you have to put him in there. So like, I think like you have to put Palmer in there. So I'm thinking, man, but you know what it is as well, because I rate him so highly as well. So I don't even feel right me saying it. Like, do you get me? And I rate Palmer highly as well. But I was thinking, I was thinking Odegaard. I think Odegaard had like I think his season was really good. I don't think it was necessarily better than the season before. So the season before last season. And I think like as a baller, I rate Odegaard highly. But I just think Palmer, man, like with what he did, I think you've got to put him in there, man. So I'd probably say Odegaard. I think I agree with Wendy. Like I think, and that's no slight to Odegaard at all. Like like no slight at all. But I think Rodri has to be in there. I think Rice, like obviously, I think even a lot of Arsenal fans spoke about Rice's impact on your team and his performances and stuff. And like I think if someone had to miss out there, I'd probably say Odegaard. But I think Palmer has to be there. Like he has to, like after what he did last season. So yeah.
Okay.
What
No, that's
are you
fair.
saying?
I think I'm a default to let's play players in their positions, isn't it? So like forget everything I said a few minutes ago. I think he needs to be one of
Oh,
those attacking free. I mean that's the names we
you're
need to be
flipping it
talking
now.
about. I mean that's the names we need to be talking
I'm
about.
flipping
Like
it. I'm flipping it.
personally.
Hey man,
Personally.
you know,
Anyways,
obviously
man.
Odegaard he plays as an 8, but you
Mm.
know, like he can play as a 10. So what?
Nah,
Palmer can
yeah.
play as a 10 as well. So
I don't know,
what?
man. I need
You're
to
not
see it
hearing
happen,
that?
man. Let me see
You're
him
not
in the
hearing
middle of
that?
this season, innit? Let me
Alright,
see him in the
cool.
middle of
You
this
know what it
season.
is.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but you
say
know
on
what it
that.
is? I think
Mm.
the last and final thing I'll say on it, I think just whatever the criteria is, I think they just need to make it clear. So it's like if it's just a thing where it's just like, oh, you know what, we're just gonna pick the 4 best defenders, the 4 best midfielders, and the 4 best forwards, then yeah, like just make that clear. And then I think cool. Like, but yeah, I think what you don't want is like, yeah, okay, you're now just yeah, you're putting players into um certain positions, but you've not made the criteria clear. So then now you're looking at it and you're like, oh, right. Because I think sometimes what makes like a lot of these debates really fun, like, you know, when people are talking about, your all-time X1 and do you get me? Like, yeah, Premier League 11 and combined 11s and etc. Sometimes what makes the debate so fun is that you might have a few players who are great and they're all fighting for a couple positions. And then that's where the debate comes in. Like, and now you're yeah. So, like, do you get me? But again, I don't feel strongly about it to the point where it's like, oh, you know what? Um, like it should only be players playing in the actual positions. I just think they need to make the criteria clear, and then yeah,
No,
everything's good. Yeah.
no, I hear it, bro. I guess
Mm-hmm.
to kind of round off the kind of I guess talking point before we get into the football, I thought we should end it. I guess starting from one club moving crazy with their transfers. I'm sure you already know where we have to go
Oh
next.
gosh.
I'm sure you know
Oh
where we have to go
gosh.
next, bro. This was a late
Oh
inclusion because I just
gosh.
said, you know what, you must be making me laugh. Like I guess over the last
Mm-hmm.
like 24 hours, bro. It's like I'm also seeing the Chelsea fan base try to set up this low block 4-4-2. We're gonna defend our clubs under, so it don't matter what they're doing. We're gonna justify it. I'm seeing that Arsenal bought Marino. I'm seeing Chelsea fan. Blocking this player in the academy's path. How shameless! I said you have shame, bro. Like, no one's talking about you buying players block. Like, that's not the issue here. The issue is how many players you have. Like, see Maresca moving swaggy here. I don't know what you thought about his comments here. He says, I'm not working with 42 players. I'm working with 21 players. The other 15 to 20 players are training apart. I don't see them. It's not a mess like it looks like from the outside. Absolutely not. They can have 20 years on their contract for all I care. Which this is the interesting one, yeah, because I thought from his point of view, I hear a minute. Like he's a manager and he's just like, bro, this is not my problem. I didn't tell you man to buy 20 players to bring it to the squad. But at the same time, that you have to also say, even that I think if you're just an objective fan, that what the club has done is also ridiculous, bro. Because it's all nice saying, I don't care about the players, and then you're looking at the players, you're like, wait, you brought Tosin was a free transfer that you guys convinced to bring in this summer. What's going on? Why is he not currently in the squad? Disasi is like a 30 mil plus player that you bought last summer that you brought Disasi in. What's gonna happen to him now? Like Sterling, that one, and I don't know if you want to touch on that because I thought that's also a madness. But yeah, but I just think what's going on here at this club right now, what they need, the only thing that can save them right now is they just deliver on the pitch. Because once you deliver on the pitch, and obviously all of this is just words and talking, but the moment they don't deliver on the pitch, it's all nice. Maresca having the confidence now to say, yeah, man, bundles over 20 man, I don't care about them. But now when the performances aren't going well and the 4-4-2 starts to have gaps in it, even within the Chelsea fan base, it's going to get long very quickly. So I thought, yeah, this was just an interesting one where it's interesting when you want to defend your club. But I think being objective, you have to also look at your club and say, it doesn't seem that you guys are making the best decisions for the team. Like the João Felix move that we've spoken about, bro. Why? Like, you want to sell Gallagher, so you have to bring in João Felix. Is he what the team actually needs on the pitch? He's a baller, passes the eye test 100%, but is he what the... But yeah, that's the end of my little round, bro. I don't know if you want to have a couple words before we move into the football.
Bro, you see Chelsea Football Club, and obviously I support Man United, and we've had a lot of drama over the years. Like, but you see what Chelsea are currently doing right now. Like, I saw some of those quotes, and I was actually taken aback that they were real. Like, I was just like, So he actually said this. Like they could even have 20 years. They could even have a 20 years contract. It's not my point. I don't care. I was like, swear. Like, and yeah, the Sterling stuff as well. Like, and you know what? He's so honest. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
so
yeah.
honest. He's so honest. Like, he was just like, yeah, man. Like, yeah, like he's not my type of winger. Like, yeah, like if you want minutes, you're not getting them over here. That's just what it
Bro,
is.
I
That's
just
just
have to
what
be
it
hope.
is. That's
Yeah,
just what it
simple.
is. And said,
It's
Chilwell,
simple.
we already had that discussion. Come on, man. Like,
Ah,
you're not seeing the
ah,
pitch. That's what it
ah.
is. That's how I'm feeling. That's what it is. And I was
Listen, there
like,
has to be a
rah.
catastrophic injury crisis for
Yeah,
you to
man
touch
said you're
grass this
not,
season, bro.
bro.
You to
He
touch
said
grass this season.
you're not
Oh,
seeing the pitch. Man said
hey,
everyone.
man.
I see the media talking about how much players we've got and whatever. He said that is none of my concern. I know who's
Uh,
playing for me. You see the rest of them, man. Yeah, man.
bro.
Like
So
let the higher up sort that out. But yeah,
yeah,
but he's
and
and this. Go on, bro.
no, I was gonna say ultimately, bro. Like I hear him. Like I'm also not gonna be disingerested in him. Him as the
Yeah.
manager, I hear it. Like we said it already. Part of the issue for part issue for Graham Potter is also when you brought in so many players all at once and you're asking the manager to make the pieces all fit. No other club is built like that. Most other clubs, you have a foundation. You see, cool. These are the players that can fit it. I need to get rid of these players. No, there might need to be a whole rebuild, but there's a thought process behind every decision you're making. Not just these guys are all ballers. We're gonna bring them all in, and now your job as a coach is make it all work. He said, "I picked my 20 in it, and I'm going to do the best I can with my 20." Which I hear him, like from his point of view, it's the leadership that's more. You have to call out and say, "You might not even mad."
What's going to be really interesting is to see like how it like as the season progresses. It's going to be interesting to see like how the relationship between the manager and the club, like how that moves forward, because obviously we saw what happened with Poch and we could see that there was tension there. And it's going to be very interesting because he seems to be very outspoken. He seems to like say what's on his mind, like he doesn't care. And it's also going to be interesting to see how the players react to that as well. So because he's just literally coming out and saying this is what it is. He's
Yeah, but
being
what I would
brutally
say
honest.
though, it
Yeah, go on.
definitely is also he's also speaking for the club too, because he's also like it's also partly it's part of making sure that you have the best chance of getting rid of these men. Is also the messaging, if that makes sense. Because now we've always spoken like, if you don't make it very, very clear to Sterling that you're not gonna touch the pitch this season, he's gonna say, I'm a 300k, I'm gonna try my best. Like look at thing last year, was it Maguire? Bro, look at Maguire last year. Sorry, quick, just to get this thought up. It was like everyone thought, he should leave. He's not gonna play. Injury crisis, and now he's in the team. And he was proven right to stay at the club, even though West Ham came in for him because he played. But if you're telling man very clearly that you have no future here, then players are a lot more likely to say, you know what, I don't want to leave, but I might need to if I want to play football. So I think that's the messaging that's coming down from the top.
One approach. I mean, that's one possibility, but also another possibility could be, cool, I'm gonna hold the wage. Like you can't force me out. Look, so I'm gonna collect my wages and I'm gonna stay here. Do you get
bro,
me?
like
And I think
like
also
like it's kind of like what you're saying, kind of tied to what you're saying now about like what team should Sterling move to. Like Sterling has the power. Like Chelsea want to get rid of him. He's not going to touch the pitch, but he's on 300k a week. So unless they find him an option that's good enough for him, he might just say, "Oh, cool, I'm not going to take a pay cut."
I'm chilling. Like, and I think even when you look at United, part of our problem when it comes to like trying to move on certain players is the wages are so high and other clubs aren't willing to pay it. So I think what you said definitely, that could be a possibility. But it also like it can also go the other way where players will just say, okay, well, I'm gonna chill here. And also it can create a negative environment like within the club, because obviously you've already seen like with Conor Gallagher, even like Trevor Chalobah, like I feel like how they're treating him is really bad, like really, really bad. And I think, it's a very, very risky strategy. And as Wendy said, like, this formula, it's a crazy one. Like, it's a crazy one. It's going to be very interesting to see, like, how everything transpires. But I feel like, if the manager and the club are on the same page, then fair enough.
Yeah.
Like if that's how they're gonna go about it, then obviously the third thing there is like the fans and seeing how they react to it. And I think the fans probably will react well to it if there's success on the pitch, like you said. But if there isn't, and if things start to go left, then yeah, I think it's a very, very risky strategy. So yeah, I think Chelsea overall, like, yeah, there's so many question marks regarding like everything that is that they're
Bro.
trying to
So
do.
hey man, they have until the transfer window closes in it to see where this team is at, who they've got rid of, and who's gonna be sitting on the bench. That's what's like yeah, because all these guys are gonna be very unhappy, the ones that are still here, that they haven't like sorted out their future. So we'll see how that works out in here. As long as we'll keep an eye on that one. But I just wanted to kind of touch on that. And then bro,
also sorry, bro. The last very quick thing I'll say in that as well is that also as regards to like the value of these players, I think sometimes the strategy is to like speak well of them, play them, involve them, and try to raise their value. Like, but sometimes I think when you disregard certain players and you make it very obvious that you're quite desperate for them to leave, then I think other clubs, their now tactic when it comes to negotiating will be, well, we know you're desperate to get rid of this, so we're not going to offer you any more.
Bro.
Yeah, man, we're not going to offer you more than this. Like, and I think so. Yeah, it's a risky strategy, man. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I get final words. I'm just answering this question: what team should Sterling move to? I think earlier I saw that Villa are trying to get him on loan, which again I think that's what's going to happen. At most, it's going to be like a loan move because I don't think our team is going to give them good money. And a lot of these guys, like we said. We can go on about Chelsea, man. We'll come back to them. We'll come back. I guess the kind of last kind of roundup before we go into this week's fixtures. I thought we could have a quick word on Tottenham, man. Quick word on Tottenham, man.
This is the Arsenal in you. This is the Arsenal in you. This is so petty.
Well, I saw this, and I was dying.
This is so petty.
Dying, bro. I was dying. This is the perfect segment to talk about this game, bro. This was the reaction. Because I don't know, bro. I don't know how they did not win that match. Because obviously we didn't talk about it because it was a Monday night fixture. But we'll just have a couple quick words on it before we kind of move into this week's matches. But I was watching the match. The first half, I thought they're gonna batter Leicester. That Leicester looked horrible as well. They didn't have any of that new promoted team bounce where the crowd is buzzing. It looked like even the fans were just like, bro, this season's gonna be long. Like, I respect to Vardy, 37. I think he was injured, said, nah, coach, I'm gonna play. Respect. But Vardy you shouldn't be relying on Vardy when you're coming back to the league when he's 37, bro. He did what he needed to do, but that shouldn't be so that shouldn't be what you actually. I didn't make this right away, so this can't be put on me.
you brought it to two up front, bro.
I appreciate the artistic.
You brought it to two up front. I want to make it clear that I did not participate in this. Do you get me? Spurs, you're not my ops. But yeah.
The artistic element of that, I thought, it was too funny. But yeah, man, so watching the match. I don't know how they didn't finish their chances. Kind of, again, just decision making in the final kind of decisive moments. They made the wrong ones at the time. And they got punished in the second half. Like, again, Premier League, it doesn't matter how down and out a team is. If you give them an opportunity to stay in the game for long enough, eventually the momentum will shift, especially when they're at home. I think Leicester realized, you know what, we actually have decent players. Let's actually try and win this game. And they brought it to Tottenham. And I think what really saved them, my kind of final words, was the head injury to Bentacle, which I don't know. I haven't seen any updates now, but hopefully he's okay. The whole collision. But I think that killed off the momentum, and then I think then Tottenham then held onto the ball, but it looked like from then it was going to be a draw, unless that might nick it. So bro, I just thought that match was crazy. I don't know what your kind of thoughts on that one was, bro.
Yeah, I think again, to echo a lot of what you said, first half, Tottenham. You did bring it onto stream, bro.
Hey, man, listen.
You knew what you were doing.
Hey, bro. I took a talk about it. Talk about it.
I hit damn. But I think, first half Spurs, they were really good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so good. You didn't know this. Hey, stop it. Okay, stop lying. Okay. Why?
You started a war.
Hey, it's so good, bro. Just
You
remember that
started a war.
one of us has the platform, so
I hear you.
one of us can display stuff.
I hear you.
I just say, bro, mute those comments. But yeah, man. Yeah, what are you saying anyway?
But yeah, I think first half Spurs were really good. Like I think like they looked dynamic. Maddison looked like he was back at it. He was playing well. Obviously I think Solanke he would probably have wished that he would have done better with some of the chances that were presented to him. But yeah, like Tottenham were in control. Everything was calm. And then Vardy. And yeah, you see this guy, I think I just want to spend just a few moments just to
Hey,
talk
bro,
about him
talk your talk,
because
man.
Phil, yeah, man, you're looking at a certified Premier League legend, a certified Premier League legend, like not just a Leicester legend, like goes without saying, but he's a certified Premier League legend. I think if you look at his career, obviously the journey that he's gone on, like, and all the different steps that he's steps in English football that he's progressed through, and then obviously getting promoted with Leicester, being part of the team that helps them to stay up, then obviously winning the league, playing Champions League football, going to a World Cup, and winning the FA Cup, going back to the Championship, winning the Championship, and then coming back up, and then now, like, yeah, you're scoring in your first, in Leicester's first Premier League game of the season, like at the age that he's at. Like, yeah, I think it's incredible, man. Like, and if you look at the amount of goals he scored, like he's a Golden Boot winner, in the Premier League. Like, you just look at his career, and literally he's had like a fairy tale career. And yeah, I think what he's done, like, yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. Obviously, all the banter with him, like, I did find it funny with him, like,
Yeah, that was hilarious.
pointing to the badge, and then yeah, him bantering the Spurs fans, and you know what Vardy's gonna do in it. Like, Vardy's gonna be Vardy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and he was right to as well, man. They were singing about his wife apparently. So he said, "Yeah, let me
okay,
remind
I
you."
didn't even know
Yeah, that's
that.
what I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, Randy don't
but
sing about
yeah,
his wife. He said,
okay.
"Let me remind you that I have a Premier. Your whole club doesn't." So fair
Mm.
play to him, innit? Like,
Yeah, but
fair
yeah,
play to him.
Vardy's gonna be Vardy, and yeah,
Yeah,
like I just thought, like, regardless of what happens to Leicester this season, yeah, I just wanted to quickly speak on Vardy and like just give him his props and
yeah,
like
no,
his credit because yeah, like he's been like a really great player in the Premier League, and yeah, his career is a fairy tale career, and so yeah,
yeah.
credit to Vardy, man.
Yeah, and the final words of this, just to add on top of his legacy as well. I remember after that league winning campaign that Arsenal went in for him, and the fact that
Yeah,
he also stayed in, I think, Leicester
yeah,
adds to his legacy as a legend.
yeah, bro. Oh,
It's not easy
what?
to turn down those kind of moves. So
Mm,
yeah, he did what he needed to do, man. So like
mm-hmm,
respect to him. So no,
mm-hmm,
no, and then yeah, I guess final words on Spurs. Because they have Everton this weekend. They just need
mm,
to. I think defensively, they also just need to figure something out, man. I saw a stat here that they have 3 clean sheets in the last
mm,
30 matches.
mm,
Isn't that crazy? 3 clean
mm,
sheets in the last 30 matches. Like,
mm.
and when you look at the caliber of defenders and players they have, so yeah,
Bro,
I'm
we
sure
spoke
they'll.
about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So it's
Like
just crazy. That actually is funny. Like,
individually, the defenders are good,
yeah,
but yeah, like the system, like their organization, like, as a team, like yeah, they've got to figure that out
bro. Like
because again,
they were so dominant, yeah. And like it's
yeah,
like once Leicester started attacking, they were just cutting through them. And I was
yeah.
like, this like they're just cutting through them.
You know what it was like? It was like Leicester just said, "Oh, you know what? Let's just try something quickly," and then it worked, and they're like, "Oh, mad! Like, wait, like we can just carry on doing this." And yeah, like all of a sudden, Leicester were like right back in the game, like out of nowhere. And yeah, like based on the first half, they should have had it wrapped up. So yeah, like I
Yeah.
think yeah, they've definitely got to work on like I think just their organization and structure. And obviously we've spoken a lot about um oh yeah, when he said I think it's just a symptom of the way we play. There isn't much that can be done, in my opinion. You know what? I think that's for the manager to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got Andrew's got to figure it out. Like, I think he's got to figure it out because if he doesn't, then you know what? Like, the brilliant football is wonderful, it's great to watch, etc. But like, if you continue to like just let results go, and you're not able to get over the line in games, like, and then that now affects your position in the table, then yeah, like the conversations are going to start to turn
And
into,
bro, and they
yeah,
need to
go
wake
on.
up quick. They need to wake up soon as well. Because I think the Everton
Mhm,
match again must win. They have to win that game. Then I think they
mhm,
have Newcastle next, and then Arsenal. And again,
mhm,
last year, fantastic start, 10 games,
mhm,
8 wins, 2
mhm,
draws. Like this year,
mhm.
if let's say they're to drop points against Everton, then now
Yeah,
you have the complete opposite start to the season. And yeah,
yeah,
the pressure will
yeah.
like mount. And I think that's when more people, like you said, in football, when
Mhm.
the results don't go your way, no one cares about the football at that point. They're not winning
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
So yeah, no. So yeah, I just
yeah,
thought we just added here. They need to wake
yeah.
up quickly.
It is
And
also the first game
yeah,
of the season as well. So I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just generally, like the first game of the season, I think we try not to read too much into the
hundred
first game of
percent,
the
a
season
hundred.
with all the
I
transfers. I think we
think
need to see a few
yeah,
games before we can
yeah.
start trying to make like
Yeah,
like
hundred
more
percent.
better
But again, I think
contributions. Yeah.
it's kind of
Hmm.
like when we're talking about United as well. It's like when the
Hmm.
form comes. I guess United did because you had good form going coming to the end. But with
Yeah.
Spurs, it was like United. I think last season going into the season where it was like from like the January to like summer period, like the form actually was a lot worse than kind of the first half. And if you then go into a new season continuing that form, then it's like that's when you see that it's actually. I think they lost 12 matches. They have 4 wins, 4 wins, 7 losses, and a draw. Which again is like start of the season. That's fair like it's first game of the season, but they need to like start winning games. Is the kind of
Hmm.
point I'm getting across. That yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, so we're interested to see where
Hmm.
it goes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but again, well, we're critical. We have opinions on on the
You're
team, isn't
welcome,
it?
Twenty.
Thank you, touch for your
You're
banishing
welcome,
me. I
Wendy.
won't speak on your stream, mate. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was an interesting one to see where they go.
Mhm,
So yeah, the Everton match is actually a lot bigger than probably needed to be because they didn't
mhm,
beat Leicester. So we'll
mhm.
see. We'll see. And then I guess the next one, which again, I'm sure Wendy's gonna love this one because this is actually a game that is actually gonna be pressure. Because I think probably the game with the biggest potential, I guess upset will still be the case, but probably the game that is probably the most contentious this weekend probably is
Mhm.
Arsenal going away to Villa Park. So yeah,
Mm.
I don't know what your kind of initial thoughts in that game are, bro, in terms of yeah, how do you see this one going?
Think that's gonna be tight, man. Like it's gonna be really tight. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm really
Mm.
looking forward to watching it. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think obviously Villa's first home game, so the crowd is gonna be like really pumped up. They're normally pumped up regardless, but yeah, they're gonna be really extra pumped up. And then yeah, obviously Arsenal, like, even though it is so early on in the season, I feel like we've mentioned it before, but Arteta, I think he's kind of like nailed that mentality into his players that we can't afford to drop points like at any point. Like, so I think Arsenal are going into it thinking, yeah, it's a must win. And Villa, they're also going into it thinking, yeah, like we're trying to get off to a great start at home. And they beat you twice last season, so
Yeah.
they'll go into it confident, thinking, yeah, we can beat them. Like Emery will be looking at it and thinking tactically, I know what to do against Arteta. So
Mm.
yeah, like it's gonna be a really, really, really good game to
Mm.
watch. Like a really good game to watch. So I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it a lot. How about you? Like, are you more on the confident side or are you more on the apprehensive side? Like, how are you thinking as an Arsenal fan?
I think I'm definitely more on the apprehensive side.
Mm,
Overall, I still think we'll get over the line, but I think it's gonna be a really tight game. Like I
mm-hmm,
think, regardless of how it goes, it's gonna be tight because Villa are a very good, a very good team. So
mm-hmm,
like we actually have to give them a lot of respect. And like you're
mm,
saying, the one thing I'll give our players now compared to the Arsenal that I went through for most of my kind of life so far is that I
mm,
think that we definitely have a mentality where I know Arteta's telling them that these men they did the double of you last season. And that is
mm,
more reason why these guys are going to come into it. Like, yeah, we have to. That's one of the reasons why we didn't win the league last year. So we have to kind
mm-hmm,
of make that right, where we're at least picking up. Again, I want to say that we'll win, but I don't see us losing. I think we'll at least take a respectable draw away from there. But it's going to be a tough match. Like I'm definitely more on the that we need to definitely come like ready because yeah, Villa are not going to make it easy for us. Like you said, first home game of the season. Their fans are going to be flying. First time they're going to be seen on Nana in the flesh. So
mm,
like I know they're going to be up for it, but I think overall we built a team that is good enough to go to Villa Park, and I can expect them to still come away with a win, even if it will be a tough match. But
yeah,
yeah, it's definitely going to be a tight
mm,
one. I definitely say that. I guess while we're kind of on Arsenal too, obviously Marino's over the line now, which I'm also happy about. I think overall the price is like between £27 million to 32 with the add-ons. It's kind of like what I've seen overall. And yeah, overall I'd say I think we probably took too long to get the signing over the line because I did think the price would be lower because of how long we've been in talks with them. But I definitely say we definitely did long it out much more than I think we probably should have for this deal. So that's it being a bit critical, but overall, I'm definitely happy with the signing. I think like he will definitely help us out a lot in that midfield. I haven't actually watched. I haven't watched. The only I guess memory I have of him is obviously the goal he scored for for Spain in the Euros. So I don't know much about him in terms of me watching him, but based on what I've heard, based on the videos I've seen, I think you add a lot to our midfield. You add a lot of steel, and especially the bigger games, I think we'll be more solid than we were last season. So it's unfortunate that we took so long that he's not going to be involved in this game, but I think that's a good signing over the line. So yeah, and then I see Wendy asked this question, which I've seen rampaging through the Arsenal scene. I think we touched on it a little bit in the last kind of stream, which was
we spoke about the managers.
Yeah, we did. Like, where do you guys stand on the Emery versus Arteta debate? I guess me as the Arsenal fan, I'll kind of give my kind of overview then your thoughts, bro. But I think overall, I would say that it's because of what Emery has done. I can't sit here and say Arteta's a better manager than him because ultimately Emery has got the trophies over the line. Like he's got the Europa Leagues to show. He's won where he needed to win. He's done a very, very good job at Villa. So I think from that point of view, I'd say Emery is a more accomplished manager. In terms of like, I'm just saying for Villa fans, would I have Emery now over Arteta? I wouldn't, because like I saw Emery and it was horrible. That's like I was looking back at some of the clips. I feel like also rival fans too, I think gaslight Arsenal fans, because I know at the time no rival fan was looking at Emery saying you're just gonna give him more time. I can see what he's doing here. That wasn't the energy. And ultimately, maybe if we did give him time, he would have done better than like what he showed us in that first initial period. But I do also have always believed that the investment the Arsenal kind of like conquests have like put into the club as well, a big part of that is Arteta and him getting the other side messaging across to them in terms of what he needs. That I'm not as confident that Emery would have had the same pull or the same side energy to get that for them to invest the way they have invested in the club. But that's just, I guess, from my point of view, in terms of how Arteta comes across and how he communicates. I think he's a lot more convincing to me than Emery is. So I think in terms of whether I think Emery would have got us over the line or got us to this position Arteta has, I'm not 100% sure on whether he's also that good that if we had Emery now, we would have won the league. Like I don't know. I don't think I agree with that kind of stuff in my take. So I think overall, I can't argue. Emery is probably he's definitely more accomplished manager. He's done more in his career. Can't argue against that. But in terms of who I think probably has a higher ceiling, I can see Arteta, even if it hopefully works at Arsenal, but I can see him getting another big job and he will win stuff in his career. Like he's still at the start of it. So that's my kind of like overall take as an Arsenal fan. What's your take, bro? I guess more neutral.
I think firstly, like I think I've already spoken, like I rate Emery as a manager. I think, I also rate Arteta. I do think that like sometimes when we have these discussions, a lot of it has got to do with like what the phrasing is and like being clear as regards to what the actual point you're making is. So I think if someone was to say, I believe Arteta has a higher ceiling or has more potential, then like I think that's fair. Like, do you get me? Like to make that assessment. Like again, Arsenal fans, you've seen him with your club, like he's been the manager of Arsenal much longer than Emery, like, and like if you guys buy into what it is that he's doing and say, you know what, like I think he's got the potential to be this, then like I can hear that. I think where I was like disagreeing with some people is where I was seeing people say, like no, Arteta's better than Emery, and I was just like, I just don't understand how you can say that. Like based on what? Like, do you get me? Like based on what? Like if you look at what Emery has done, like look at the Europa Leagues, the 3 in a row, the 4 in total. If you look at the Champions League semi-final run, if you look at what he did, I mean, he did and is doing at Villa is absolutely incredible. I think a lot of people talk about what Arteta's done at Arsenal, which has been brilliant, but they disregard what Emery's done at Villa. Like, I think they forget how bad that Villa team were when Emery took them. Like, they were bad, bro. Like, they were really, really bad. Like, Gerrard was sinking. Like, and he literally came and he's transformed that club. Like, and yeah, seventh,
Were
and
you the
then
first game or second game? I remember he played you guys really
yeah,
early.
he
And I
came.
remember,
Yeah, he
yeah,
came, and then bruv,
yeah,
like he's made Villa Park like it's a fortress. Like, do you get me? No team is trying to go Villa Park. Like, I remember what they did to Man City last season. Like, do you get
yeah. That
me?
match
Like,
was nasty.
yeah,
Yeah,
fam. Like,
put them on
do
the
you get me?
ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
put them on the
like, what
ropes.
I think, like, you've got to give Emery his respect, and then I think, as regards to his time at Arsenal, I think how people talk about it, I think you've got two sides. I think you've got some people who are being disingenuous to act like, oh, you know what? Like, Emery, like, he was the worst manager in the world, and this. And they remove all context from the situation. They remove the context of, obviously, Wenger leaving and like everything that was going on with the club at the time and how things have improved since then. And obviously, they remove the context of the amount of time that he spent at the club. Like, and when they talk about Emery's time, they don't do the same thing for Arteta. So it's like, yeah, it's like sometimes like I see Arsenal fans, they fast track Arteta's time to when Arsenal were good, and like they just leave out or forget like the same way people the same way you were saying that, oh, people forget how bad it was under Emery. I think sometimes Arsenal fans, because things are going well, they forget what type of discussions were being had when Arteta was in his earlier when he had his earlier seasons at Arsenal, and what people were saying. Like,
Yeah,
do you get me? It was eighth, fifth. Granted,
yeah.
it's the potential.
Expectations. Yeah,
Yeah, granted the potential. Like, you might have been able to see the project, believe in what he was doing, and of course, like, he's gone on to turn Arsenal into title contenders. But yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to say, you know what, I rate Emery, um, but like Arteta, like, it's the manager that I would prefer. Do you get it?
yeah. And like
But
I said,
yeah,
I
like,
also wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure Villa fans wouldn't. They're happy with Emery. They wouldn't
yeah,
trade
like,
Emery
do you
for
get me?
Arteta.
And
You know what I'm saying?
a lot of
Yeah,
people say like, oh, would Arteta? I mean, would Emery? If Emery had the same time, would he have been able to do what Arteta has done or a similar thing? We don't know. Like, do you get
yeah,
me? And the same way, people could talk about like Arteta and say, if he was at Villa, would he have been able to do what Emery has done? Like, do you get me? And a lot of people can be very skeptical to that. So I think, yeah, Emery, you've got to give him his respect. Like, I think you can't just be like talking about Emery like I get Arteta's, you know, he's doing well and he's the new up and
mm,
coming manager. And I think, yeah, he does really have a good connection with his fans and he does a lot of different things. Like, do you get me? That I don't know, like, it's like out of the box. So, you know, people are like, oh, like, do you get me? And Emery maybe doesn't have maybe the same charisma, but yeah, like, you've got
yeah,
to
man.
respect Emery and what he's done, man. Like, do you get me? Like, he's Emery's a really good manager. Like, he's done very, very well throughout his career. And again, like, what he's doing at Villa is great. So yeah, man. Like, if you want to say Arteta has you believe Arteta has higher potential, then cool. But I think you can't say Arteta's a better manager than Emery right now. Like, do you get me?
Mm.
Arteta now goes on and wins the Prem and wins the champs and etc.
Oh
Then
yeah,
cool.
it's a different
Now we
conversation.
can start having different
Yeah,
conversations. But yeah, but based off of this, like, do you get me? Like, we can't now be saying, yeah, um, Arteta's the better
yeah,
manager. And I saw obviously, yeah, like, he won the FA Cup in his first season, but I think, as a lot of Arsenal fans have rightly pointed out, that it wasn't his team. Like, and people are discussing like, okay, with the team that he's built. And when I see you shaking,
yeah,
rocking your
man.
head,
Because again, I feel like
no,
that's the thing that
go on,
like, people say, but it's
go
like
on.
your manager. Like most times, like
Mhm.
again, I don't know if you again, you have better memory on this thing, bro. Like, let's say like
Yeah,
Tuchel when Tuchel won
mhm.
champs. How long
Yeah.
was it Tuchel's team that won the Champions League, or was it like who did people again? I feel
No,
like when
no,
when you come in as a manager, you win. The whole it's not your team stuff doesn't matter to me.
no. You
Yeah,
know where it is, and
right.
I fully hear your point when
Yeah,
it comes to that. The reason why I mention the topic as regards to him not being this team is because a lot of the time when Arsenal fans talk about Arteta and Arsenal, they talk about the style of football. They talk about, oh yeah, Emery was thinking, but he wasn't playing like this. Like he hasn't got the fans excited like this. Like the way we've been able to thingy, the way we developed up, etc. So the reason why I'm not when I say it wasn't his team, I'm not that doesn't mean that FA Cup doesn't exist. Like it's not a part of his resume, it's not a part of his catalogue. What I'm saying is that okay, based upon the team that he's built, that all the Arsenal fans are lauding, okay, you want to see the results of the work that he's put together. It's not to say that it's a skill set to pick up a team.
Yeah, like I think people use it as a way to discredit sometimes. I'm just
no,
how can you discredit a manager? Because you can
even
even say that he came in with like very poor players and he made them work too. He did enough in that trophy run for them to win. And to win, wasn't his team. That's why I don't.
No,
I find those things disingenuous.
We're not. I'm not saying it in a way to like take the credential off. Like Arteta doesn't have the FA Cup because it's not his team. I'm saying it in a cool. If a lot of the basis as to why Arteta is such a great up and coming manager is because of the team that he's currently built, then we also need to see that team win trophies.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That's the point that I'm making. Because again, there's different type of managers. You have some managers where it's just like, you know, you can they can go to different teams and they're very good at making do of what they have. And do you get me? And they have an adaptive play style depending on the players that they have at their disposal. Do you get me? Whereas I think a lot of the time when Arsenal fans have spoken about Arteta, they've spoken specifically about what he's built with this Arsenal team. And they've spoken about, you know, the players that he's brought in, the players that he's developed. And it's like, okay, cool. So with all of that praise, we also want to see, well, when I say we also want to see,
I know you don't
Arsenal fans want to see him also win with that. Like, do you get me? So it's just like, yeah. So I think that's it. But yeah, overall, yeah, I think you gotta put respect on Emery. Like I think sometimes how people talk and things can be true at the same time. Like you could have had a manager and it might bring back bad memories. Do you get me? Because of where your club was at a certain point of time and it didn't work out. Do you get me? But also, like, I think you can't also use that to just discredit.
Oh yeah, no, 100. I like the fact that he's done so well at Villa. If he went to another club now and he was still not what it's sports in general, isn't it? You're always as good as your last kind of performance. So if now your last performance is still Arsenal, then no one is talking about Arsenal fans rubbishing Emery. But because it's not Arsenal and it's at Villa, he's done a very good job. Yeah, you can't discredit it. So yeah, no, I agree with you on that, innit? So yeah, man. So yeah, so I guess kind of to wrap up the Arsenal Villa kind of conversation, bro. What's your what are you leaning towards? You thinking draw, win? Where are you going with that? Just general.
I think I'm thinking draw, you know.
Draw. Okay.
I think Arsenal, like you've built up a very good resolve. I feel like you're able to go to like away grounds like Villa Park and hold your own and not allow that atmosphere to consume you. But also Villa are a very good team and it is their first home game. And yeah, like they're going to be really up for it. They've got a lot of very good players. So yeah, man, I can't call it. So I'm saying draw.
All right, cool. Yeah. Well, if you're watching this, please like drop your kind of prediction in the comments as well. And while we're here, before we kind of move on to the next kind of section, anyone who's watching this, it would be a massive help if you hit the bell icon, because I've heard a couple people say that, oh yeah, they didn't see the notification when it goes live. I think if you do that, then YouTube will definitely let you know once you do that. And that's for anyone watching it live, watching it afterwards. Just again, the more people that we have engaging, the better the kind of stream for everyone. So just wanted to say that quickly. And yeah, leave a like as well, because it'll help the video kind of be pushed out a bit. So it's the YouTube algorithm. Like so the more all of that stuff goes, the more it helps us. So wanted to drop that quickly. And then again, from 1-2 up front team to I think the other 2 up front team, which again, this is not even a bias thing. I actually think in terms of looking at the fixtures, these are the 2 fixtures that we have the highest chances of potential upsets. So I thought let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So I'm gonna let you kick off, man. Where's your head at? Where's your head and heart? Like, what are you saying about this? Are you confident? Are you gonna get the win? Talk to me.
I think, off the back of obviously the Fulham game, I think United fans have a lot of questions as regards to how Ten Hag is going to set up moving forward for the rest of the season and what his player selection is going to be. So I think like, I'm really curious to see, firstly, if he goes with the same starting 11, like, and if Ahmad keeps his position, for example, or if he does decide to bring in a Garnacho, what's going to happen with Rashford? Obviously, Xerxes got the winner in the last match. Is he going to start? Is he still going to come off the bench? So I think all of those questions, I think, yeah, like, we're trying to see kind of what Ten Hag's thinking is as regards to his go-to team. So I think, yeah, like, from that side of things, like, we're very curious to learn more. I think from a performance side of things, I think it's going to be quite different to Fulham. I think Brighton, they are, I think it's going to be less transitional as regards to when they're attacking. You know how Brighton like to play. Like, and yeah, do you get me? They're a very brave footballing team. And I think it's going to be a tricky game. I think we spoke about like the defensive line previously, and it's going to be very interesting to see how brave they are and what United decide to do tactically. So are we going to now say, you know what, we're all right with Brighton having possession. We're now gonna be the team that's trying to kill them on the counter? Or are United gonna say, you know what, we're gonna try go toe to toe with them, like, and do you get me? We want to have more of the ball. So yeah, man, I think we saw what Brighton did in the last game, and clearly, man, yeah, they're a good team. Like, they're a good team. It's going to be dangerous. So I can't come here. I think it would be disingenuous of me to come here and say, yeah, United, light work. Do you get me? X, Y, and Z. I think I got to put respect on Brighton. The same way you were putting respect on Villa, I think I've got to put respect on Brighton and say, yeah, I don't think it's going to be an easy fixture. I'd like to think that we can get the win, but yeah, there's still so much more to learn about this United team, because we've spoken about it. It's his third season now. Obviously, we've brought in some new players. It looks like Agate is going to come in as well. We might talk about that a little later, but yeah, now I think as regards to excuses, Ten Hag doesn't have many. So
That's
we've
a good
seen
point.
we've seen the first game. The first game of the season is the first game of the season. Like, you want to see the win. We did get the win. There were signs of things that were encouraging. I mean, there were signs of things that were good and things that were encouraging moving forward. There were also question marks and, you know, reasons to be skeptical. So now you're going up against a Brighton team who had a very good opening day result. And now, yeah, it's an opportunity for us to learn more about our team. So, yeah, difficult fixture, man. Difficult fixture. What are you
No,
saying? How do you
it's
look at
that.
it as a neutral? Well,
You
I
know
say
what?
neutral. You're a United hater,
Yeah, but I
so
made that
you can
clear,
never. I
man.
can never. We need to stop this neutral thing when you're talking about United, because you're not a neutral. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you might need a
as,
third person just to balance
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. We
I
need
think
someone.
my hating, you only
Yeah,
need you and someone else just like make sure that
yeah.
we're in sync.
You know what? It's like we need like we need someone from the comment section, just someone who supports like a team who, like, yeah, they don't have any biases towards our two clubs. Like, yeah, to just maybe
Tough
come
man,
away
because
and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like we have haters for different reasons.
Oh
We're not
yeah,
Premier
man.
League
Yeah, bro.
for
Ops
different
everywhere.
reasons.
Ops everywhere.
But
So
I saw
yeah.
something that made me laugh for too early. I was like, people
Mm,
were laughing. Laughing at you know the whole red cartel stuff. They're like,
yeah.
Arsenal got rejected by who did
Mm-hmm.
say? I mean, I'm Gundogan. Liverpool
Mm-hmm.
got rejected by Zubimendi. United got
Mm.
rejected by PDC. Got rejected by. It was so I can't remember the player. It was like, yeah, the red cartel has no pull. As an Everton fan, stop. Okay, stop
Oh,
it.
was it
Okay,
Everton
it was
fans doing
Everton
this?
fan, bro. Everton
Oh
fans. I said, bro,
gosh,
stop it.
man.
Have shame.
Everton.
Okay,
Oh
have
gosh.
shame. So
I've been seeing this discourse regarding like, you know, everything that's gone on with Brentford and us trying
uh
to sign him, and there's just been this discourse I've been seeing. I don't want to say all Everton fans or the majority of Everton fans, because that very well may not be the case, but I've been seeing some Everton fans just like the way they just carry on talking about United, like in a like like almost like they're annoyed that we didn't sign Brentford and pay the money. Like, I just, yeah, it was very strange. I was just like, fam, we don't have beef with you guys, man. Like, we got enough ops. Like, why is everyone trying to be our ops, bro? Like,
bro,
we
it's
got bare
crazy, man.
ops. Like,
It's
do you
crazy,
get me?
man.
Like, I was like, fam, the worst thing about it is that Everton, your main ops are our main ops, bro. Like, do you get me? Why are you trying?
But
Why
enemy
are
of
you
an
trying to?
enemy. It's
Yeah,
still
do you
our
get me?
friend.
It's supposed to be an enemy of an enemy is our friend, bro. Like, do you get me?
Nah,
Your
bro.
main ops are
It's an
our main
enemy of
ops,
an
bro.
enemy is our enemy.
Bro,
Bro. Yeah, I don't know how that United Everton beef that started up this
weird,
summer.
man.
It's so funny to watch. Like, yeah, I've never seen a club angry that you're not coming to buy the player. It's been
Fam,
so weird
bro.
to watch.
I'm
So weird.
thinking, bro. I know we took Rooney off you. Like, do you get me? I know, I cool, but fam, there's not supposed to be animosity here, fam.
Hey,
Like,
man.
your whole life you've been hating Liverpool. We've got the same beef, and then now because of one Brentford, I'm seeing all sorts of discussions. Yeah, very confusing, very confusing.
Mate.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, but I guess what I was even gonna kind of start off with the United thing is I think you touched on a very good point where I feel like with our like because obviously going into the season we're predicting where United's are gonna finish. We've done a lot of like I guess for me I was doing a lot of like I guess my reality of based on my opinion of Ten Hag last season. But then I think when you actually kind of strip that away and you look at United's team and you say in terms of even like the squad depth that United have compared to the other teams they're also competing against, it's like Ten Hag, you also do not have excuses because Ineos have backed this guy this summer. Like I think if you get Ugarte, that's gonna be 5 signings in through the door. And I think it's not the thing with you guys too, is like it's 5 signings, like basically walking to the first team, which then push people on the team onto the bench. So it's like you actually have like players now where it's like Ten Hag, now you need to actually make this work. It's not like last year where you can be talking about injuries for the whole season or still talking about the Arsenal match. Like days to go. Imagine that happened like the third game of the season. Scouts talking about the Arsenal match for the rest of the season, bro. So stuff like bro. So I really hope he hasn't said it so far this year, but I know when we play, he's gonna bring it back up. So all that to say that I think now it's actually like where Brighton are a very tough game, and yeah, you can't come here saying that easy win or like I don't know, but like easy game. Like I think I feel like if you're being objective, you have to say that it's gonna be tough, but. These are the teams where I also think United also need to be. It needs to be more leaning towards you should be. Let's say beating a Brighton, like in terms of on paper, in terms of where you should be, based on your team as well, based on who you have available. You should be the favorite going into this game. Like let's not like put that aside because we rate Brighton, kind of thing. So it's like you should be going to this game thinking cool. Like worst case, you should be leaving with a point. It shouldn't be Brighton are dubbing you at home. Anyway, but I think so. I think that's why it's like, Ten Hag has nowhere to hide now. He actually needs to come out now, pick the right starting 11. That's another really interesting talking point. Is that who starts, bro? Is it Mount? Is it Xerxes? Is it like you understand? Like I think that decision with Ten Hag is gonna really dictate how you're trying to start the game. Are you looking at Brighton and saying, they played very well against Everton, but they made loads of mistakes? I was watching match of the day earlier, and I was like, these lot were really sloppy as well. Like. I think they're doing this whole thing where their 2 center backs are basically like part of the build up, and obviously this is like new to them. So it's just them two and the keeper are trying to like play around them. So obviously there's a risk of if you press them with like a Mount, could you get some change there? Or are you gonna drop Mount now, who is probably like your best like pressing asset? Play with Xerxes, more recognized striker. How do you approach it? So again, this is what Ten Hag gets paid for, innit? So I think this is gonna be a very fascinating game to see how it kind of ends up. It's one of those games where I'm like, there's gonna definitely be goals in this game, regardless about how many. Both teams, the way both teams approach it, both teams play, there's guaranteed goals in this game. So I think I'm going with a draw. I think I actually see like a 2-2 because I think a lot of it probably depends on like whether like unlike the Fulham game, you guys can kill it off. I think if you guys go into like the 60th minute, like similar to the Fulham game, and it's still tight, or even if like you're like 1 up, like it's still a tight game. I feel like Brighton are dangerous enough that I don't know if you can hold out if the pressure starts mounting towards the end of the game, especially with Brighton being home. So again, it's one of them games where you either kill it off early, if you let's say you go for the Mount and they catch them make mistakes, 2-3-0 up, then it could be that kind of game. But I think the longer it goes, the more I back Brighton to at least take a point from it. It's kind of like my kind of outlook on it. So I think definitely gonna be a very fascinating one. So it'll be interesting to see like where it actually goes. So I guess in the comments too, let us know what you think about this match. I thought this is another very, very interesting one. Don't know if you have any kind of final words before we kind of just like round off through the other kind of games that's going on this weekend.
I'm just hoping we can get the win. I want to get the win. I want to see like progression on the pitch, and man, like you just want to see reasons to believe in the season. Like I think that's what you want to see. You want to see a plan. you want to see progression, you want to see structure, and obviously you want to see the 3 points. So yeah, man, it will be the early game on Saturday as well. So yeah, do you get me? Hopefully we can get the win and then you can watch all the other games in peace. But yeah,
I'm so sad that we're the 5:30 p.m. kicker. I
yeah,
need the sun
man.
to be out. I need tomorrow not to be. I don't need late night vibes at 5:30, bro. Because yeah, when the liquor starts rolling and everyone, the atmosphere is crazy. I don't need that. So yeah, this is also where the timing of the fixture actually can be massive in terms of the atmosphere and what happens. So yeah, that 12:30 kickoff is going to be interesting to see how both teams approach it. Are they going to be firing, or is it going to be a bit more cagey, maybe a bit more mistakes? So yeah, it's going to be a fascinating tie. So yeah, this is definitely one of the games to look out for over the weekend. So, yeah, everyone stay tuned. And then yeah, just to kind of round up through the other quick fixtures before we kind of round up on the FPL kind of update. Talk about FPL a little bit. This game I thought is another one where I probably expect Chelsea to win, but I thought it's probably one where again it's like if Chelsea aren't on their toes, like Wolves will give them respect. They'll sit back. This is where Chelsea's possession-based style as well. I think you get tested when you play the teams like the Wolves, who are just they don't need the ball. They're trying to like when you get the ball, capitalize on it. So this is an interesting game. I also have an eye on to see whether Chelsea fumble on this one or they get the W. Because yeah, this is gonna be, I think, will kind of help me kind of start deciding what's happening with Chelsea this season. Because yeah, like we said, as long as on the pitch is making sense, then the background stuff is cool. Everyone is just hating, then whatever. But once on the pitch, you're dropping points like a Wolves, and now the fan base start questioning stuff. They start looking above that's like, above the kind of the line. You're saying, hey man, the club is moving a bit mad here. This is not actually helping us. You see, so this is the Chelsea are going to be an interesting team this year to see how that kind of goes. So yeah, don't know if you had any kind of quick thoughts on this game, bro.
I was just going to ask you a quick question. So obviously, your team faced Wolves last week, and do you have any like views as regards to how you think Wolves can hurt this Chelsea team, like in this match, based on what you saw at the Emirates?
Yeah, I would definitely say obviously Cunha came off the bench against us. I'm guessing that might be a fitness thing, but I don't know if he'll start this game. But again, he's the kind of player on the break. Like if Chelsea's midfield, he doesn't get that right in terms of he doesn't respect Wolves' like potential to break out as well. Because yeah, even with us, like with Rice, with Partey, like they were still breaking on us. And that's two like solid defensive players. So yeah, Maresca really needs to get that midfield right is what I would say. Because yeah, Wolves are definitely a threat from that point of view. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the main thing. It's like I think they'll be solid. Again, it took yeah, I guess the second goal came off like a set piece, so we worked it back round and he put the ball in. And the second goal was just out of nothing where he just took it and banged it. So like it's not like they were also like giving us loads of chances in that game either. So they were defensively solid. So yeah, I think Chelsea are going to be tested in this one still. So I think yeah, that's kind of like again like from watching last week, I think they're going to be tested. So that one, then I don't know what your thoughts on this game. This was the other game where I thought like could be a little bit interesting. What's your on top of your head? What are you thinking about this one?
I think obviously Liverpool in that second half against Ipswich, I think things started to click well for Slot. Obviously Ipswich, I think they did play well in the first half, and yeah, like it once Liverpool broke them down, then I think Liverpool really started to like produce chances and things started to flow much more. So I think again, when we're looking at the first game of the season, a lot of the time, like we want to now see patterns. So we want to know, was that just a good first day opening result, or like is this actually the pattern of how you're gonna approach games? Like, are these players, can we expect them to like deliver on a consistent basis? And obviously Liverpool have players that have been doing that for a long time. For example, Salah, look at Van Dijk, look at Trent. So they've got players who they've produced like quite consistently. And I think it's very interesting because even on this topic, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, but it's funny because like even in other sports, you look at certain players like LeBron, for example, where or like Tom Brady when it came to American football, and it was like, oh, a lot of people that are watching, pundits, fans, they're thinking, oh yeah, no, this is the time they're gonna fall off. Like, oh no, surely it's gonna be this time they're gonna fall off, or surely it's gonna be this time they're gonna fall off. And I think when you look at players like Salah, like I think some of the same questions get asked about him, like, oh, he's getting older, oh, he doesn't have the same burst of pace, like he can't easily dribble past players anymore. But then obviously you watch him and you see that he's learned to adapt his game where he's not as dependent on some of the things that he used to do to be effective in a match. Like he's learned new ways to be effective. He's taken up new positions. And I think obviously him continuing to do that, I think that's going to be integral to Liverpool's season. I think it's going to be very interesting to see whether like defenses like are able to also adapt to him like as the season goes on. So it's like, you know, I think there's a certain play style, there's not much you can do. Like, so for example, let me just give a very extreme example. Like actually, this is it. Like I was gonna say Messi, but I don't even need to say Messi. Let me not talk about Messi. Let me say Robin. Robin, I think, is a very good example where a lot of people used to always say, oh, we know exactly what Robin's gonna do, and we just can't stop it. Like, yeah,
cash money.
And it's exactly. It's too cash money. Like the formula is just too concise, it's too precise, like it's too refined. Like we can't stop it. Like, do you get me? We know what he's gonna try and do. Before the match, the manager spoke to us in the dressing room. At half time, the manager spoke to us in the dressing room, and he's still done it. You're like, do you get me? He's still,
his budget.
they studied it. He's still done it.
Yeah.
We double teamed him. Do you get me? Like the CDM came to help. Like everything, he's still done it. Like, do you get me?
Yeah.
And
it's probably like Steph in basketball as well, right?
Yeah. Do you get me with the free?
Know what
exactly.
He's gonna do, yeah.
Great example. Do you get me? Pulls up. Do you get me? They're trying to defend him from half court, but has the handles, pull up, shoot, does it.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's nothing you could do. And I think obviously, yeah, like when you're just kind of like in that realm, it's like it's brilliant because it's just like, you know what, like my greatness is just too much. Do you get me? There's nothing you can do. But then obviously when maybe you're not that player anymore, then you find new ways to adapt. I think it's interesting to see whether, okay, you know what, now those same moves or the new things you're trying to do isn't as cash money as it was before. Do you get me? Are the defenses going to be able to now adapt to new approaches to the game and new positions that you're trying to take up and new things that you're trying to do? Like, or do you think that, you know what, someone like a Salah, he's just too clever of a player where, yeah, like he's not going to be able to be found out? Like, what do you think about that?
Again, it's probably one of them ones where you probably need a bit more evidence in the chamber.
Yeah.
I'd say this is definitely the kind of game that I think can probably provide more of a clever answer to see where the direction of that this season. Because I agree. Like I think definitely in the like Ipswich match, obviously they had probably a higher line that Brentford are going to play. Brentford are definitely going to come, respect Liverpool a lot, put every man behind the ball, hit him on the break is going to be the striker. So it's like in that kind of setup. If he's still prospering in this game, then again, it leads more to it doesn't matter how you guys set up, you're still going to get leads. So I feel like I probably haven't seen enough to kind of say 100% yes or no so far this season.
This is just based on like, obviously, we need the evidence, but just based on like what you think. Like, do you get me? So just a light prediction. Like, don't worry, we're not holding you to anything.
Cool. You know what it is? Yeah, it might be country. It might. It's not. It's so tough, man. I had it as my top assist player this season. But I feel like even the little in that first half, especially against Ipswich, I felt like when he had ball to feet and trying to go at the fullback, I think the fullback had his number. And I think that's probably one of the first things I start to see in these kind of like dribbling wingers, where it's like I think even Rashford is experiencing it a little bit right now too. Where it's like I feel like you have to now prove again that you can consistently beat your guy. If that makes sense, because it's if you're going at him 5 times in the game and he's just taking the ball off your feet each time, there's leading more towards. I don't know if this aspect of your game you still have it the way you used to have it. Understand? So I think that was one little thing where I thought, oh, interesting to see how he's dribbling off the wing aspect of his game kind of goes through the season. But in terms of like his numbers, I think his numbers are still going to be where he's going to still be cash money. Is what I'd say. Where I think if he has the ball at his feet, a man of Jota sliding through, I think he still has the ability to pick him out. I think last year we saw that a lot more, where he started to be much more of a playmaker.
Creator,
so I'm more confident in him still having that part of his game intact. But I say I'm much less confident about him being able to go at his man consistently. Him having that in his locker this season. So I think that's probably my kind of initial thoughts on Salah. I guess I don't know. Yeah, what you think about that? But I say I can more confidently kind of give that assessment based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I think Salah's a very intelligent footballer. I think one really good thing about him is that I think when he is getting found out, like he finds solutions. Like he'll now maybe drop a little bit deeper, like he'll take up a new position, like try to get into the pockets, etc. And I think that's why you see his numbers, they're so consistent, because I think, like he's actually got quite good game intelligence where he knows what positions he needs to take up on the pitch to be effective, even when he can't just, pick up the ball and beat 3 players like maybe he was able to do previously. So I think, like he's someone that likes to find new solutions. So I agree as regards to, I think his numbers will be like, they'll still be like Salah numbers. But I think it's always just a very interesting, and this is not even necessarily just on this season, but just generally speaking, where it's like, when a player is able to still get their numbers, like, is the level of performance at a detriment to the point where, like, you're now thinking, you know what, for the betterment of the team, we need to sacrifice this player. And this is not as regards to Salah this season, because but I think that's just like a general point where sometimes it's like, like you look at certain players and you think, oh, you know what, he's got the intelligence where he's always going to be able to get his numbers. But as a team, fam, how he's playing, we're not good because of this. Like,
bro, I genuinely do think this is like a last dance season for a couple players where I'm looking at them. Like, I think Salah's one. I think De Bruyne is another. I think Human Son is another. Again, where it's like, I mean, these are the players where they need to prove that even now, as their games are probably, they're not at their powers anymore. They can still do enough to still be like key men in their teams, which will be interesting to kind of see as the season kind of progresses, like you said, like how much they still have it. So interesting. Final one on this, bro. Something I'm thinking while you're talking. Is Salah the greatest African footballer?
The greatest African footballer, what period, or the greatest African footballer in the Prem?
Would you say, I guess both.
The greatest African footballer. Oof. Nah, I don't think I can give it to him.
Who would you put above him?
Nah, I think there's like, again, when you're talking about greatest, I think there's a lot of great names. I think obviously you've got Eto'o. Like, Wendy.
Where's your mind?
Wendy is quick, literally. Wendy, literally, she got there before me. But you've got Eto'o, and I think people forget about Eto'o. Like, I think, like, and obviously maybe some people, they didn't watch Eto'o.
Yeah, I didn't watch Eto'o.
Yeah, but Eto'o, like, ridiculous, man. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Do you get me? And peak Eto'o in that Barca team, like, problem. And then obviously he then went to Inter Milan, and do you get me? Like, even moved position wise and still was very effective. And then what he done for Cameroon. And I think some people's memories of Eto'o is when he was at Chelsea. Like, so which is like, like, if that's your memory of Eto'o, then you didn't watch Eto'o. Do you get me? Like, so it's like, you can't be basing it off that. But I think you've got, like, and then there's other players like George Ware, and I think you've got, like, you've got, it's a tough list to top. Like, do you get me? I think Salah he's like, it's irrefutable what he's done. Like, do you get me? Like, I think he's been a great player. But like, I think it's difficult to just label him
Give
as
him
the
that.
greatest. But you know what? I think that's a very good discussion point. Like, I think it's actually something I'm actually gonna sit down and properly think about, because right now I was just thinking off the top of my head, but I think I will actually I'm gonna have a proper think about that, and maybe at some point we can revisit that, because I think that's a very good discussion point. But
calm. Yeah, no, sorry, I thought it was a good question. Well, and then I guess to round off before we wrap up the stream with some FPL kind of updates. This one, my question was just simply like, do you see any potential surprise in terms of it being closer than maybe people would off the bat think this game will be?
What?
In terms of
City Ipswich.
Yeah. Bro, that's the bro. Come on, man.
Bro, you know
Nah, man. You shouldn't be laughing at that.
No, you know what happened? You know what genuinely happened? Do you get me? Obviously, I see the United graphic in it. So obviously I'm thinking, oh, what? Like, have you I saw the United graphic, and then obviously I'm thinking about Liverpool and Brentford. So I was looking at that match. So I was confused as regards to what game you were talking about. And then, so then I just see City Ipswich. I'm just like, oh man. So I was shocked. Like, but do you get me? Nah, man. I rate Ipswich. Like, do you get me? Like, I think we already spoke about Ipswich, and obviously it's going to be a very difficult task this season for them. And like, I'm wishing the rest of luck to McKenna. And again, I think that in that Liverpool match, I think that first half I'm showing, if I was an Ipswich fan, I think there's a lot of things to be encouraged about. Going away to the Etihad is going to be extremely difficult, man. Like, do you get me? I think even Ipswich fans will say that, they're probably expecting to lose. Do you get me? And I think they're probably hoping that they can just put in a performance that they can be proud of. Like, and but I think, I can't see any other result other than City winning this.
That's why the question is not even the City winning. It's about, do you think it'll be as bad as people's initial reaction? What because in general, I guess going to this game, you're looking at
what's the discussion? Like, what are people saying?
No, I don't think this is even just. I think it's just very basic football analysis. You look at City at home. You look at Haaland. You see Haaland scoring 4, 5, 3 goals against different teams. You look at this game. This is a game.
So basically, is this going to be a battering?
Yeah,
is this going to be a battering? That's the question. Is it going to be a battering?
That's the question.
Okay, cool. I could see it potentially being, I could see it potentially being. I think City sometimes, though, it does take them a while to get into top gear at the start of the season. Start of the season. So and I think obviously Ipswich, they're still new to the league, and I think they've still got, like, the adrenaline of being promoted and stuff. But also sometimes that can come with being naive, and you can't be naive against City. Like, if you're naive against City, it's gonna get very, very ugly very, very quickly. So like, I feel like there's two ways it can go for most people. I think most people think it's like just a comfortable, like, 2-3, or it's an absolute Byron, like 5-6. I will lean towards comfortable. I'll lean towards comfortable. I think, I'm just thinking about, I'll lean towards comfortable. Do you get me? I'm hoping for Ipswich that is comfortable. Do you get me? But at the same time, I'm not surprised if it's a battering. Like, do you get me? But I'll lean towards comfortable, man. Go on, Ipswich. McKenna, come on, man.
No, I hear you. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And I think that is the last one before we go into FPL. This one was just like a overview. What are we saying for this one? My kind of initial take is Palace, man. These have sold their whole team, man. Like, Anderson's gone now to Fulham, so it's like
quickly on that Fulham. And we'll talk about that another time. But Fulham, they might be cooking something.
Sanderberg
they might be cooking something over there.
I saw some people saying that is the move from Anderson, is it unambitious? It's like Palace have been. I think I don't know. I don't remember the stat, but they've definitely finished comfortably above Fulham in the last like 7 seasons or something.
Yeah, I was surprised.
That was
I
like,
saw it and
that's
I
a
was
move that
surprised.
he should be making, but
I was
interesting.
surprised.
Yeah, I know it surprised me too, especially the
Mhm.
price. It was like 25 plus 5 or something, like 30
Mhm.
more. So yeah, that really surprised me too. So yeah, no, interesting. But yeah, on this one, yeah, West Ham, you think that they probably another kind of game week. You have to think the players will, what's it called, be more. Again, I don't actually know what happened with like Fulkrug in the first game, whether it was like he just wasn't ready to start against Villa. So I don't know whether he's starting this one. So yeah, I probably would lean towards West Ham in this game. I'm thinking like a 2-1 West Ham, just because I think Palace have lost so many players in recent times that yeah, I think they might struggle in this one. I don't know if you think otherwise before we get to FPL.
I think like West Ham obviously they have like quite a few new signings and they need to gel. And yeah, I think they would have been disappointed like with the opening day result. Of course, like Villa, we've spoken about Villa, and yeah, you get me, very, very good team. So it's not necessarily like a shock, like, oh, you lost to Villa. But obviously they would have wanted to start off the season. They would have wanted to start off the season at home with a W. So I think now, obviously, going away to Palace, they're gonna try and rectify that. But Palace in the same breath against Brentford, do you get me? They might feel begrudged. You know, we spoke about the Eze free kick, etc. So yeah, I feel like this is a little bit of a tough one to call, but I think I'll probably agree with you. I'll probably say West Ham just. Yeah, I'll say West Ham just.
All right, that's great. Yeah, if you agree, disagree, yeah, let us know. And then I guess to kind of round up the episode, bro, I thought let's have a nice little FPL kind of update, I guess kind of see where things are going into the second game week. Because yeah, man, this is a tough one, man. Like, I just put our two teams on just to kind of see how it's going. Because yeah, I don't have any kind of like standout kind of decisions or things that happen post. Does anything kind of come to mind, bro? Like key things for your team?
Oh, for my team,
yeah.
I think obviously, I think a lot of us expected Barco to be playing, and we looked at him and thought, oh, you know what, cheap FPL asset, he could potentially do well. And obviously, yeah, man, that's not what happened. So now we're looking at him like, bro,
4 mil.
bro.
I put out a PSA on Twitter. I said, please, all the Barco owners, can we just agree to keep him on our bench and not use him? Because once that price falls to from 4 to 3 point, it's long, bro. It's long. It's long. So yeah, no, I have to echo that. Yeah, the Barco, the FPL, yeah, it's been a collective FPL howler. That Barco move. Because yeah.
I think another one as regards to both of our teams as well, which will be interested to see, is Nkuku.
Yeah.
Because I think obviously he came off last match. We're not exactly sure how many minutes he's gonna get, and yeah, you know, obviously there's Neto there, obviously Felix is there now as well. So yeah, it's gonna be one that I think we're all gonna have to keep our eyes on. All of us who own him, like, we're gonna have to keep our eyes on that. So yeah.
Yeah, nah, bro. I was so confident in him. I thought this is the most banked player on my team. 6.5, nice price. And then now, a week later after that City game, him coming up early, I'm just like, yeah, man. Now I'm not as confident as I was. And then yeah, I'm trying to think what let me down this week. Probably the Eze free kick would have been nice. That not going in was that's what I said. That was very painful. Yeah. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, we're playing around with it. Yeah, it's mad.
Wendy, we're worried, man. We're worried.
It's mad. It's mad. It's not looking good right now. It's not looking good. Barco and Kunku, yeah, we own both of them. I don't want to see what people that own Kwanzaa as well. I know Kwanzaa's another one. Yeah. That's a bit scary right now.
People are trying to get the cheap outside options, and
bro, man. Bro. What's it saying? Like sorry, like when you spend cheap, you buy it twice the size. I'm gonna lie to say it.
I said false economy.
Hey, false economy, bro.
False economy.
Yeah, getting these men out of their team is not gonna be easy. So yeah, I guess going into it, 65, 53. So yeah, you pulled ahead 12 points. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find that out throughout the season. But like we spoke about, I think this year is gonna be massive on who you captain. Because I think the people that pulled away in all the leagues, like I guess to kind of round up the section to give 2 for 2, his credit for pulling away 74 points. So he's got a nice healthy lead there. And looking at his team, to be fair, actually, so he captained Saka, which I guess also did very well. But in general, in the other leagues I've kind of seen, the people that captained Salah were the ones. So he went
without Salah and Haaland. That's brave.
And Haaland and these. I didn't even
brave.
That Haaland
no Salah, no Haaland. Brave. Fair play.
It worked out for him this week. I don't know if maybe Wendy or any Tottenham fans can let us know about what's happening with Poro as well. I know he was hobbling up in the last game. I don't know what's going on there, how much of the injury risk he is. So, where is Ace in the league? Hey, man, I'm right there, bro. But don't worry, bro. It's game week 1. Okay?
Game week one.
Let me even see. Oh, I don't think I've actually. What's it called? I'm just another developer, and the LinkedIn is what's it called? The FPL code is in the description below. So I don't think you've actually joined this league. So join so we can see where you are as well, bro. Don't be throwing stones from outside. So show yourself so we can see where you line up here. So definitely join that out. But no, man, had to just give a 2 for 2 shout out this week. Top right now. This would be interesting to kind of keep track on as we kind of go through the season to see how the table is fluctuating. And I think even Benny like Bukayo as well. I think he's definitely also gone about Haaland. Spoke to him about that. So some people have gone about the Haaland, about the Salah. So interesting to see how that kind of plays out over the next kind of 4 or 5 game weeks. So it should be an interesting one. So I think that was kind of the FPL kind of update.
Just quickly, bro.
Oh, go on.
I said when we were talking about City and Ipswich, well, some people clearly they're leaning towards the battering.
The battering.
Based on this comment.
I hear it. It can get very nasty. We triple captain the Haaland when you just have 3 or 4 goals in the game. That might be like 200-300 points. So it's gonna be interesting to see what people kind of go for this week going into it. And kind of seeing, what moves people make. So, we'll keep an eye on all the teams and we'll keep you updated, guys. But, I think that was kind of the agenda, what we went to kind of get through today. Another good stream. Enjoyed the conversation as always, my guy. Don't know what your kind of closing remarks are before we let the people go. And also, from my end, thank you to everyone who's still here, locked in. If you watch us afterwards, please leave your comments. Let us know about how we've kind of gone about the different segments. Anything you think we can add that will make it a bit better. We're in the building phase, just trying to try stuff gradually, phase things in as we go. So bro. So, what are you saying?
Man. Again, like thank you everyone who's like watching the stream, whether you're watching it live, whether like you watch it later, and everyone interacting, liking the video, sharing the video, commenting, man. Like I think, it's really enjoyable just coming and just talking ball with obviously Ace and like all of you. So man, like again, appreciate all the interaction and like appreciate you joining in with the live. So man, again, like Ace said, like gonna continue to try and make it better. Obviously we've got segments that we're developing, like we're building, like everything's still new, but man, enjoying it and onwards and upwards.
No, backs, man. So thanks everyone. Until the next one, well, I guess we'll see everyone on Sunday. So peace.
Have a good one.